There are two core mindsets when it comes to money. One will make you rich, the other will make you poor. The one that will lead you to being rich is the investment mindset. The one that will make you poor is the cost mindset. If you view things as a cost, for example, mentorship, learning, relationships, hiring people, teaming with people, investing in things that give you more time. If you view those things as costs, then you probably won't do it and you'll be angry when you do. Just as an example, if you were to invest in a book, then you would, if you saw it as a cost, you would first off probably avoid doing it, but you would also not soak up the learning. If you view it as a cost, then you think, okay, this book cost me $25. I need to find a way to get $25 back from this book. If you invest in a mentorship, if there's like a learning opportunity or a learning experience that's $2,000 or $5,000 or $10,000, if you view it as a cost, then you'll be so much thinking about how you can get that value back that you're not going to be open to the learning transformation that's available. If, on the other hand, you view it as an investment in yourself and in your future self, then you can be open-minded to huge experiences. Let me give one example. Hiring an assistant. A lot of entrepreneurs out there, a lot of people, even people who are employees, they're so busy and they have 1,000 things to do that they're distracted and they're not able to get into a flow state. They're not able to focus on a bigger picture because they're so caught in the mundane routine tasks. If they were to invest $10, $15 an hour, maybe even $20 an hour for a really good one, and offload themselves, offload their calendar, offload their email, offload a lot of the tasks, even 20 hours a week, then they would free their mind in order to think about different things, whether that be planning towards a bigger future, maybe creating connections, learning about industries, or maybe even just focusing on their high impact work. There's a principle, the 80-20 principle, that 80% of your results come from 20% of what you do. Because most people have a cost mindset, they're not willing to invest in, let's just say, an assistant. They would see that as a cost, and because of that, they would see a person as a cost. You never want to see a person as a cost. But if you invest in an example, an assistant, and you view that as an investment in yourself, I've just given myself 20 hours back so that I can focus more on those 20% of activities that create 80% of the results. Whatever you're good at, whether that be creative work, or planning work, or strategic work, or design, whatever it is, because you're no longer doing those other 80% of activities that are only producing 20% of your results, you've now given those to someone else. You've offloaded that. You've invested in a who. Dan Sullivan and I wrote a book called Who, Not How. And the only way to apply this principle at a beautiful level is to have an investment mindset. But it's not just investing in people. It's investing in experiences. It's investing in relationships. It's investing in, it could be your health. If you see it as a cost to get a gym membership rather than an investment, then you will probably have anger towards it, or you won't want to do it. A lot of people with a cost mindset, they stay in a poverty mindset because they would rather give away their time to save money rather than investing money to create more and higher quality time. If you want to have higher quality time, and if you want your future self to be better and more capable and more free than your current self, then you need to start making investments in people, in experiences, in relationships, in education. Anytime you make an investment towards your future self and you free yourself to do better and better things, then your future self keeps getting bigger. That's the idea of investment, and that's the idea of the investment mindset, is that you've invested something and now it can grow and become bigger and better as a result. If you see it from a cost mindset, then you don't actually view it as an asset that can grow. You just think it's linear. You've paid for it and you are just trying to get the value out of it. You're trying to squeeze it. Whereas if you've got an investment mindset, you believe that it can grow, transform, and become better and better. If you want to become wealthy, if you want to become successful, if you want to become free, if you want more creativity, if you want more flow, if you want more happiness, if you want increased capability and freedom towards your future self, then you need to really embrace the investment mindset. Invest in people. Invest in experiences, invest in relationships, invest in things that give you more time and give you better time, to invest in those activities that are 20% of your work that create 80% of your results, or to invest in more time with your loved ones, or more transformational experiences, or more education that transforms your mind and allows you higher capabilities. You get to the point where you start investing in more and more who's, and that's where you ultimately become a leader and an entrepreneur. You've now got an assistant that's got your email taken care of and a lot of the tasks. And now you have another goal. It could be anything. And you might have wanted to write a book, but you're not a writer. So maybe you invest in a who. You invest in a writer, a ghostwriter who writes that. Now all of a sudden you don't have to be the one doing it because you've now invested in someone that can do it for you. It's more an investment in your current and your future self. The more investments you're willing to make, the bigger your future self will be. The more seeds you plant right now, the more you'll have an orchard for your future self. It is people who invest and have assets being knowledge, relationships, but also hard assets like real estate, stocks, crypto. If you're an investment-minded person, your future self keeps growing because it's assets that inflate dramatically versus if you have a cost mindset, you're trying so hard to cut costs or pinching every penny that you will forego the learning and the higher opportunities because you're so focused right here on the details. Instead, you want someone else to focus on those details so that you can focus on the big picture, you can focus on the work that you want to do. So the question is, do you have a cost mindset or do you have an investment mindset? If you have an investment mindset, your future self will keep getting bigger. If you have a cost mindset, then you're overvaluing the wrong thing. You're having a poverty mindset. You're having a scarcity mindset. With an investment mindset, you know that the pie can keep getting bigger. You know that there can be bigger and more powerful games out there. Whereas if you have the cost mindset and you view everything as a cost, then you will not have the ability to afford much. It takes courage, by the way, to invest. There is some risk in hiring someone or in taking an educational experience. There's no guarantee with an investment. And that's one of the reasons why people don't invest, is because it seems risky. It seems scary. Even non-risky things like investing in the stock market, like as an example, the S&P 500, or investing in real estate. Because there's some form of uncertainty and there's a lack of confidence and knowledge and experience, it feels risky. There's no guarantee, and that's true. You make investments and there is no guarantee. And you're fine with that. You take on a little risk. That's part of the investment, but you also grow in capability. You grow in confidence. You grow in skill. You put yourself in a position where you have to grow. If you make an investment, whether that be in an actual asset or whether that be in a person, now you've got to grow as a person. You've now put yourself in a position where you've got to grow. What's interesting is that all behavior is addictive. So if you start investing, let's just say, into your future self, you'll want to do more of that. If you start cutting costs and if you start avoiding investments and if you start trying to squeeze the juice out of everything, you'll become more stingy. You'll become less transformative. You'll become less abundant. You'll become less transformational. So one of these mindsets is transactional. The other one is transformational. One of these mindsets is a scarcity mindset. The other one is an abundance mindset. One of these mindsets leads to a loss of growth and a squelching of transformation. The other one leads to extreme transformation. So are you willing to invest? Are you willing to become abundant? Are you willing to become successful? Are you willing to free up your mind and your time to do what you love to do, what would be best for you, so that you can start thinking about things? Your mind and your attention are more important than your time, but your attention is always caught somewhere. And so you need to free your time, thus freeing your mind so that you can put your attention on what matters. You're gonna miss all the amazing opportunities if your mind is so caught up in the minutia, but if you invest in who's or in technology or in relationships or knowledge that allows you more time and allows you to put your attention on better things. The Harvard psychologist William James, who was the father of American psychology, he said that your experience is whatever you pay attention to. And if you're so busy paying attention to all these things that are ultimately the wrong side of the 80-20, if you're focused on all the 80% of things that are only producing 20% of your results, then you're not free to learn and think and do new things, or even just focus on high value work, or to visualize the future, or to open yourself to new opportunities. Instead, you're so busy down here that a lot of amazing things are passing you by because your attention is so caught up on what you're avoiding. The cost mindset is ultimately an avoidance mindset. There's two orientations. There's an approach mindset and there's an avoidance mindset. Cost mindset is about avoiding costs. It's about cutting costs. It's about avoiding loss. Whereas an investment mindset is about approaching gain. It's about approaching your future self. It's about expanding. So are you trying to avoid loss, or are you trying to approach gain? Are you trying to cut costs, and are you focused too much on yourself, or are you trying to expand yourself and transform yourself, and are you investing in yourself so that you can put your time, energy, and attention on increasingly high value, increasingly high quality things? If you invest wisely, your future self will have better things to think about, to invest in, to worry about. So if you're investing, then over time you will have more and more time and attention to think about, focus on, and create better things.